to try to make this video as short as possible, and I know I promise that all the time, and I utterly fail at that. And I also do want to apologize for not posting for a while, and I've apologized 1,000 times for that as well. And again, I'm sorry, but I'm basically working, watching my kids, and working on a few projects. For example, starting on building my cabin. I'll probably be doing a couple of videos of that in hopefully the near future. I'm also on February 2nd. I decided to quit smoking, quit drinking, and start going to the gym. I do think that getting in the best possible shape that you can is extremely important when it comes to preparedness. And I was getting pretty rotund. But y'all, today I want to talk about the hard lessons that we've learned from the shooting this past Thursday in down there in South Texas. I don't want to necessarily get real political with this video, but unfortunately I'm going to have to, because I have my own personal beliefs. You know, I think that a lot of this stems from the fact that we live in a failed society, and y'all, this is not something that can just be legislated to change. It's not possible. You know, we live in a country with a gun culture. Guns are here to stay. They're not going anywhere. We live in a society wrecked by the war on drugs and, in my opinion, the war on the family. We have too many fatherless homes. It's, you know, one reason why I fight so hard to stay in my children's lives is so that I have a say in how they're raised. And I think that as a society, we have too many children today that do not have strong alpha or sigma male father figures, and there's too many people that are raising our sons to be weak-minded, emotional men, and that's, you know, you look at the shooter. I'm not going to name it. I'm not going to say his name. I'm not going to post any pictures of him because I think the media is doing plenty of that already. I think that's a huge issue as well. But if y'all look at him, that is not a man that was raised by a father. It's just not. And so there's that. I also want to talk about the fact that we live in a coward police state. You know, we have law enforcement that is tickled to death to write tickets, that is tickled to death to post up at gas stations with their boys and, you know, drink coffee and intimidate people. We have law enforcement that is super freaking excited to show up to domestic situations and, you know, have kids taken away and all sorts of stuff. And for those of y'all that have friends that are law enforcement that are sitting back and going, "Oh, Red, you're just bashing cops and you just hate cops," and all this other stuff, I don't like the fact that I distrust law enforcement. I don't enjoy that. I don't enjoy the fact that when I'm sitting in traffic and police pull up behind me and I know for a fact I'm not doing anything wrong, I'm still nervous. Okay? But we have these mass shootings, and in Uvalde, took law enforcement 40 minutes to finally step inside because they were so busy cordoning off the area, barricading the area outside, handcuffing parents that were trying to get inside to save children. Are you freaking kidding me? Okay? "Oh, Red, you're just Monday morning quarterback." You weren't there. You're right, I wasn't there. But you can't look at me in the face and tell me that if you hear gunshots inside an elementary school, you're going to stand outside that and call yourself a man. I wouldn't call you a man. You are less than a man. Period. So we have cowardly law enforcement. We have, I call them defenseless zones, but gun-free zones that are completely unenforceable. They're just not. You have, for example, my daughter's school district is like 6 schools with 1, maybe 2 school resource officers that have to go in between like a freaking pinball machine. Boom, boom, and check out these schools. Okay? We have, in the situation of this last school shooting in Uvalde, you know, the school policy to keep exterior doors locked, but because of complacency, a faculty member that will live with this fact for the rest of their lives propped a door open moments before the shooter walked inside, because of complacency, because they didn't want to go through the security checks in order to get back in the school. Stepped outside for just a minute. Because of complacency, children died. Children that are the same age as my daughter. The very same age. So we all agree that schools should be safe, but they're not. So what do? Well, again, I already talked about we can't just legislate, come up with a magic law that just fixes everything. And, you know, those of y'all that say, if we could just get people to do this, or if people would just do that, people will not just, okay? They just won't. All you can do is worry about yourself. All you can do is try to raise your own children. All you can do is talk to your friends and family. Try to get them involved. But I think a huge failure in the society is, you know, it's funny, this morning I was watching YouTube, and, you know, this coming Wednesday, I'm teaching my daughter about guns, and this is not something that is because of the shooting. This is something I've been planning for several weeks. She's mature enough. She's 7 years old. She's mature enough to start learning about firearms. But we're going to spend the entire day and we're going to learn about firearms, and she's going to shoot her .22 that I bought her. But I was trying to look on YouTube for training videos to make this kind of, you know, a fun experience for her. And the vast majority of the training videos on YouTube are little shorts that basically say, if you find a gun, run away, tell an adult. And I think that is utter, complete bullshit. Because all that does is encourage children to be curious. It's the same thing with swear words. You know, when my ex was pregnant with my daughter, my oldest, I told her, when this child was born, I will be swearing in the house. I will be talking I'm not saying swearing like a sailor, but I'm not going to be scared to swear around my children. Because I don't want my daughter to think that certain words in speech are taboo and then go around in school and swear like a little sailor. Oh, do you know about this word? Oh, do you know about that word? I want her to be indifferent. Oh, they're just words. And the same thing for guns, in my opinion. I want her to be indifferent. Oh, it's just a gun. And on top of that, I want her to be knowledgeable and understand how firearms work. So if she ever gets in a situation where a friend or a boyfriend or whatever is mismanaging a firearm around her, I don't want her face to get freaking blown off. I don't want to have to bury my daughter because someone else was messing around with a gun and she didn't know enough to know that they didn't know what the heck they were doing. Okay? So yeah, you're dang right. She's learning about guns and she's 7 years old. And that is the warrior mentality. You know, it's a thing in my family that the fathers teach their sons how to be soldiers. You know, I'm a vet, my dad's a vet, my grandfather's a vet. And you can look at our family tree and we go way back. We've been fighting in this country and on the side of the government or against the government for a long time. Okay? And I think that one of the reasons why our society has failed is because the fathers aren't in the homes, they're in prison, or the government's encouraging the mom to keep the father out. Make sure he pays child support, but don't let him around your kids. And these children are not being taught about guns. They're not being taught how to respect guns. And they're not being taught how to respect each other. Not being taught how to respect women. They're not being taught how to do any of these things. because the father figure's not there. You know, and the government's encouraging the father figure. Oh, well, just pay your child support, stay out of jail, keep a job, don't fight the system. Oh, if you want custody, oh, that'll be 10 grand. Better go get a lawyer. You know, and that's a failure, in my opinion. It's a failure. But my point is we need to worry about ourselves, worry about our children, worry about our loved ones around us, and just work on the warrior mentality. Militarization of guns. I want y'all to talk to your wives, get them to carry guns. I'm not talking about going to freaking G-Bo's or Academy and buying your wife a 12 gauge. I'm not talking about that. Familiarize her with something she will actually carry on a day-to-day basis. Get her trained. Get her a handgun license. All that. Teach your kids about guns. Teach your kids not to be complacent. Teach your kids about, you know, for example, me, I live out in the middle of nowhere in a fifth wheel camper. The place is still fenced off. I have a gate. It's shut. The only time it's open is when I'm driving through it. Do I really need to worry about someone sneaking in while I'm here trying to rob me at gunpoint? No. But it's still that warrior mentality. My area is secure. I have yard lights. They're on. They're on motion sensors. I know if something's in my yard. We are complacent in this country and we need to change that. Y'all, thanks very much for watching. I'm going to try to post some more. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, subscribe. Y'all have a great day. Be safe.